Hey everyone! Well, we're here. We're back, and today we're doing another anti-MLM video, and the MLM we'll be talking about is Beachbody. The video we are going to be watching today is one of their power hours, and essentially what that is a bunch of them get together on a Zoom call, and there's usually one main host. The one who's going to be hosting this one is one of the top coaches in Beachbody. We have actually talked about her before on this channel. And they get together and they send messages to potential downlines and potential buyers. And so it's really watching the hey girl, hey hun messages live in action. So they take it from, I believe, just doing the all important success club tracker, and they do the connect, invite, follow up live. Usually the individuals who host this power hour are pretty high up in the company, doing pretty well for themselves, and they're teaching others how to be as successful as them by sending messages and connecting and making dreams come true, I guess. They're in the business of changing lives and empowering women somehow. So that is just a short breakdown of what a live power hour is. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's get started.
Alrighty, so it's Saturday morning, and just really quickly, how's this going to run today? So for those of you that have never been on a power hour call, let me just give you a 2-second sort of overview. We are actually going to do like a working session. So this is like what I do when I sit down to like build my business, right? The most common thing that I get from coaches is that I see these business activity trackers come in. I see coaches that are working, but they're not creating sales. They're not getting commissions. They're not getting signups. And so sometimes I just feel like we're slightly off in the activities we're spending our time on. So I really want to talk to you guys about that and even just help you troubleshoot as we go through today. So you can definitely ask some questions as we go along. Now, the other thing is that sometimes these activities are broken up throughout the day. I don't always sit down and do everything that I'm about to show you right in an hour. Sometimes it takes me a little longer. Sometimes it's split up throughout my day. The goal is not to focus on the fact that it's a power hour, but to say, these are the activities I need to do every single day. It doesn't matter if it's done all at one time. It doesn't matter if it's broken up throughout the day. It's more or less like I need to do these things if I want to grow my business. All right. And it's also another big part of this is as a business builder, we can't just do these activities when it's convenient, which is what I find a lot of people do, right? They're like, oh, I have time today, so I'll do it. Oh, tomorrow's a really busy day. I don't have time to do it.
I mean, isn't it their business? So shouldn't they be able to do what they want when they want because it's their business? It's interesting how she says, well, you're not doing it as often as you should, or you're taking it off when you're busy, so that's why you're not as successful. But again, it's supposed to be their business. You work on your hours, I thought. That's what they like to sell. But it's, oh, I couldn't work yesterday because I had a busy day, which is fine. It's your business. If you have a busy day, then you can have the day off. That's what normal businesses are like. People who own their own businesses, they're lucky enough to where if they need a day off, they can take it. But when it comes to an MLM, it really is that work every single day. And if you take a break, then that's a bad thing. It's not, you don't really get a second to step back because then they get annoyed with you and they're like, well, that's why you're failing. It's this weird mentality of work every single day, every single second of every day, which no normal job is like that.
And so inconsistency, right? If you only show up 3 days a week and do these activities, you're not going to get the same results as somebody that shows up 5 days a week or 7 days a week. All right. So
what's funny, the 9 to 5 that they hate, that you work Monday through Friday, you get your weekends off. I mean, of course, depending on the job, you may have to do some work on the weekends, but you get your weekends off. With an MLM, they don't allow you to really have weekends off unless you really, really, really want to push and make it big. You got to work every day.
We're saying, I want to achieve X amount of income per week or per month, then your actions really have to meet that. And it's not what we do once in a while. And I kind of shared this on the mastermind last weekend. It was like, oh my gosh, so many people wait until the last 3 days of the month to hit Success Club. And then all of a sudden we like bang it out. We do all these invites, and sure, you reach your goal, but you sort of burn yourself out in the process, right? And then you take 3 weeks off before you decide to do it again. And then you hurry up and just sort of skim by and get Success Club for the next month. Anybody sort of do that? And so I'm going to be really honest with you.
Nobody raised their hand.
And as much as I love you and I say this with like the utmost respect, that's not really building a business. All right.
I think they would all be more interested in honestly pursuing this as their own business if the whole main idea of building this business was not recruitment and having people underneath you. I think they would be a lot more motivated if they didn't have to reach out to strangers. I was thinking about this yesterday. What if, like, let's take a car salesman, for example. What if to get customers, they like knocked on our door? Like constantly there was car salesmen knocking on our door being like, hey, by the way, like just letting you know, like I have this great car, you would love it. Like you would be so annoyed and they would never make any sales if that was the case. If they had to actually go and find the people versus like clearly the people are going to come to them when it comes to, getting a car. But that's essentially what this is the business is knocking, like their business is knocking on our door and trying to get us to sell it versus the product selling itself like they like to believe that it does. A lot of MLMs are like, we're this, esteemed company. We've been around for hundreds of years or 50 years or whatever. We have no debt. We have no this. If you're that amazing, then these products would be selling themselves. It wouldn't have to be where people are knocking on your door to sell these products. Just something to think about, I guess.
That's not building. You're not getting ahead. You're always on the defense. You're not playing offense. You're never going to have growth because you're always just reacting to the fact that you have to get Success Club because you don't want to miss it. All right. So if you can establish a routine and a habit, which does take time and take work, you can really grow a significant income, and you don't have to sit at your desk for 8 hours a day. And so I really want you actually.
No, you can do it from your bed. But you still have to be working that much. Actually, probably more. It just seems like, they get up and the first thing, we'll use Beachbody. Make sure you get up and you show your morning workout. I know a lot of them, they will lead like live workouts in the morning. So you got to make sure you do that. Plus you got to show your Shakeology. Plus you got to show what you're having for lunch. Plus you got to show, just your general life to get people interested. And that's an all day thing that they want you to do. Plus, interacting with any person that's commented, any person that's liked, people who, were talking to you yesterday, you got to keep up with those people. Now the people from today, you have to make sure tomorrow that you continue conversations with them. This is a constant thing that until you put your phone down, you're pretty much always working on your phone all the time. And most, businesses can be worked from your phone, but it's nice because like if you don't have to constantly be needing to sell to people and you're just worried about selling your product, you only have to worry about if a customer has an issue or a question, there's that, but that's so much fewer than in MLMs where they want you to contact so many people a day and you have to keep up with those conversations every single day and hoping that somebody purchases from you, loves it, and signs up underneath you. It's just this hope that they're grasping onto versus like if they created their own product from scratch, they, I think, would be more motivated to, get out there and sell it. And it's different because you're actually selling the product and not worrying about people being below you.
Do this activity to kind of reflect and say, where am I wasting time, right? Where am I not being productive and how do I sort of laser focus? Because, I see coaches that work a full-time job, that have multiple businesses, and they're crushing their Beachbody businesses because they've mastered the art of focusing on the right activities. All right. Okay. So let's get started. So
I don't like when they do that. Like other people work harder than you. You might not have a full-time job or you might not have kids and these people can do it. So why aren't you doing it? That's just the way I take it. I want to say that's not what they mean by that, but I think it is.
What we're going to do is, and I just realized that my notes are not, oh, here it is. Okay. So everybody has their success tracker, right? Everybody has this out in front of them. So you've got this, right? So when I look at my business building activities, I focus on number 2, right? Number 2 is my business building time.
That's what I thought we were going to focus on.
Your workout and your shake, your personal development, contributing to your challenge groups, all of that other stuff does not happen during this time. All right. That happens some other time during the day. All right. When I sit down and I say, I've got time, you know, my kids are playing a game or they are off to school or at preschool or I'm at the coffee shop, I'm going to sit down and do number 2. So we're just sort of,
and notice how number 2 is the longest one. The connecting with other people and sending the hey girls is the longest one than the other things.
Work through that together. And I'm going to kind of jump around because I'm going to kind of walk you through how my brain actually works and how I organize my day. So I've got my list, right? I've got my list of people that I'm talking to and I've got everything up around me and I know what I'm inviting to. All right. I know exactly what I'm inviting to at the moment. I have my Busy Women's accountability group that's starting on Monday. And so I already have in my Instagram stories, right? I can go back to yesterday. So this is what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to do my new invitation. So I'm going to go back to my Instagram story from yesterday because I did it on purpose. And then I did a poll option. Are you in? And so I have people that filled out that poll. All right. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that and I am going to make sure that I invite those people. All right. So if I go down through and I click on the number of people that said that they were interested, now I'm going to sit here and I'm just very quickly going to send them a message. And so, you know, and what I do is, and I'm waiting.
Can you imagine waking up Saturday morning and the first thing you see on Instagram is hey girl, I saw you were interested in my whatever, my accountability group. I would love to have you. There's a limited amount of seats and I just thought you would be perfect for this.
To come up here. It's kind of taking
Which is funny because like all of this stuff is done online. There's not a limited amount of seats.
So I'll click on the person and I'll say, are they a coach? And I'll just look at their Instagram real quick. If they're not a coach, I go back and I'm like, okay, I kind of look at even if they're a private account and I can't tell that they're a coach, then I'll send them a message. Even if I can't see all of their images and profile because they're private, I'll still go through and so then I'll send them a message. So this one person, I'm going to say, I'll just kind of type it out or say, hey girl, or hey Jen, whatever the person's name is. I saw that you filled out my poll. You're really interested in my accountability group that I'm kicking off on Monday. What are your health and fitness goals? What interests you most in this group, right? And then I always kind of say like, hey, have you ever worked with a coach before?
You're not a real coach. It's so, they make it seem like they are real, like licensed health coaches. They're not. When you use the word coach, most people are gonna, they're not gonna look too much into it. I know when I got reached out by the Beachbody girl, I thought she was a licensed coach. But they're not. They pay, what is it, $160 for some Shakeology and some workouts, and they get the title of coach. That's not real. It's not real. It's so, I hate that they use the word coach. I hate it.
Right? Can't wait to hear back from you. Done. So how many of you have something up there right now, a post or a poll that you have from yesterday, or maybe you did a few days ago that you could go back and invite to, right? Like, so that's, okay. So that's what you're going to do right now. So everybody go to that. And this is going to be as quick as you can do it. So when I do a poll, it says obviously and ready to get started. I'm going to message everybody. I never give people a no option. I always give them a yes and an absolutely. So
I give them a yes or a definitely yes.
So I've got this girl here. And I'm going to go ahead. And so I'm going to send her the message right now. So, all right, I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes and I want you to do as many as you can do. And now I just copy and paste it, right? So I'm not going to like spend the time retyping this to every single person.
I'm not going to make it special for that person. They're just, again, a name in a notebook and a copy and paste. Like, hey, if they want to join, they join. I'm not really looking at, anything about them. I mean, maybe a little bit just to see if they're a coach or not, even though I guess they still could sign up under her thing. I assume her accountability group, whatever, she must be doing something. I assume she's doing something different because, like I said, she is one of the top in the company. So she may be doing like a seminar or something. So it's different for her versus everybody else in this call who probably have the, hey, you want to join up underneath me and go on your health and fitness journey and we can do this together. Yay.
So if you've got something in your stories, go do that. If it's somebody that's on a post, let's say that you have a post that maybe you don't have stories, but maybe you made a post about your challenge group. I want you to go to the likes, the people that liked your image, right, about a challenge group or your workout, and you're going to do the same kind of thing. Thank you so much for liking my post. Are you on your fitness journey too? And then you can say something to the effect of, hey, are you interested in, possibly joining my accountability and support group? I'd love to give you the details. Let me know as soon as possible. So now that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to send it. You guys do the exact same thing. When you're done, I want you to tell me how many you did and then put that in the comments. All right? So go. So I just had 10 people off my stories. All right. Now I'm going to go back. And if you don't have a lot of people, I'm going to look at all the people that viewed my stories. All right. So if you don't have a lot of people that voted on your poll, go back to the people that viewed your stories. So there's a bunch of people that are maybe not coaches that I don't know. And so now I'm going to reach out and I'm going to say to those people, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to say good morning. I noticed you have been checking out my stories.
Just because somebody looks at your story and didn't vote in your poll doesn't mean they're interested. But again, everybody is a potential person in an MLM. You never know. Like they say, you never know what someone's doing or what journey they're on, where they are in their life, which works the opposite way too. You never know what is going on in their life. So reaching out to strangers and saying, hey, I'd love for you to be on this health and fitness journey with me. Maybe they're struggling with something, and that's kind of rude to assume that somebody, wants to do that right now.
Are you on your fitness journey too? How did you find me? Would love to connect. Done. All right, now I'm going to go down through and I'd send those to people that have viewed my stories that I don't know, so new people. All right, so I'm going to go down, send as many of those as I can do. To keep typing it all over again because then that kind of becomes a pain in the butt. All right, okay, so there you go. That kind of gives you a good explanation that we've done about 10 minutes of that.
It's crazy that they are sitting in this call on a Saturday morning just for her to say something that I guess everybody knows. But of course, hearing it from a top Beachbody coach would, I guess, maybe motivate you more. I don't know. It's interesting that she is saying absolutely nothing different than any other person in Beachbody or any MLM. She's not saying anything unique to her, I guess, how she got successful. If this works for her, then shouldn't it work for every single other person? I guess not, because she said, like, oh, well, you're not doing it as much. Like, just do it more, and then you'll be more successful. I guess that's the winning formula.
So my challenge to you guys is like set your timer, and say for 20 minutes, this is what I'm going to do. So do you see, like, that was not glamorous. We weren't making beautiful graphics, right? We were actually doing work. That's really where.
Sending hey girls. I mean, I guess that is the actual work, but that is it's not. I mean, I guess they are kind of getting people maybe interested in the products. There may be like a new Beachbody program that's coming out, and that could be what they're trying to do. But sending hey girls, that's the actual work.
You're going to get the most bang for your buck, right? Is actually sitting down and doing that work. So let's sort of, we'll move on to the next one. After we're done with this, you can come back and keep doing some more. All right. So kind of write down where you left off on that thing. So the next thing that I want to do, and good. Perfect. 10 invites on Facebook. So the next thing is, this is perfect because we're going to do this next. It is really initiate connections and add followers. So the number one thing I see people do as new coaches is they come in and they work off of their warm market, right? They invite their friends, they invite their family, they get their husband on board, they get their sister-in-laws, their brother-in-law, they get everybody on board, everybody they know.
Every single friend and family on board. That's how you really start your business. Make sure every single person in your family is a part of your business. Because that's how every person who's created their business, that's how it happens. Every single person in your family is involved in your business, which, I mean, having your family involved with your business, whether it be like they're financially supporting you or they're physically supporting you, but every single friend and family, I doubt that.
Like, this is great, this is amazing. And then all of a sudden in month 2 and month 3, you're like, oh, crud. I don't have any more warm market. What do I do? And you were just sort of glazing over that adding new followers because you're like, that doesn't pertain to me now. I'm busy. I've got things to do. You are shooting yourself in the foot. All right. Every day, your goal is to increase the number of followers and friends that you have. Regardless, this should not take you very long at all. So this really, especially for those of you that have a very small following. So here's what I would suggest that you do. You can do this on Facebook and you can do it on Instagram. Currently, I am on my Instagram account.
Do you think she's going to say, go to something that you like, go to a person that you follow and go follow their followers, and or something, like I said, like something like hashtag photography, and go like those people and comment on their picture, hey, love your picture, and then you expect them to follow you back. So, I mean, that is how you get followers. I think it's usually the follow for follow. You know, if you go and you like people's pictures, or you just go and you follow random people, I'd say 40% will probably follow you back, depending. Or if you just go and you just like a bunch of random stuff. I know that I like to go on the hashtag Trader Joe's Instagram, and I just like to like people's stuff. Like, I find it interesting, and I've had people just randomly follow me or comment on my picture or something. And I'm like, I know what you're trying to do. You want me to, like, follow you, but I don't know. I follow people I genuinely want to follow, except for on my this respectfully sarcastic Instagram. I have not been on it since I told you guys that I created it. I've been so bad about it, and I'm so sorry. I need to, like, what is up with my hair? Jeez. I need to get better about, like, posting more on social media. I'm just not a big social media person, which is funny because, like, I post on YouTube. YouTube is my social media. YouTube is how I really genuinely connect with you guys, but I do want to try and do it in another way, and Instagram is a great way to do it. For 2021, I'm going to try and post on Instagram more and be more active on Instagram and just open up a little bit more on Instagram. That's my 2021 goal. I have a couple others, but that's a big one for my channel, I guess, is branching out to Instagram more because I have been ignoring it, and I'm very sorry.
I am going to go to somebody that I know, right? I'm going to go to a family member.
I forgot friend of friends. What is wrong with me? I went to the next step. You do friend of friends, and then you do the, like, or I did say follow someone that you know. Did I say follow someone that you know? Or I said follow someone that, like, has a big following or something. So maybe I did say that, but my biggest thing was, like, go to, like, hashtag Leafeon and go follow all of those people. I kind of want to, like, I thought about doing that if I didn't film on my phone. I thought about, like, kind of doing this power hour with them and seeing, just if I go and I like, you know, random things that pertain to me, and I just go and I like those things, and I just message that person and say, hey, love your page. I kind of want to know how many people actually respond back to something so general like that compared to, like, if I'm trying to sell them something. I bet I would get more responses than they do.
Or I'm going to go to a friend. So
But I'm not going to do that because I film on my phone, and that would be, like, impossible to do it at the same time until I get a camera. Hopefully I can get a camera soon. It's in our 2021 goal.
I'm going to type in a girl that I went to college with, all right? And I'm going to type her in, and because her and I were just chatting this morning, and I'm going to look her up, and then I'm going to go to her friends. I'm going to go to who she follows, her followers, right? People that follow her. And there's probably going to be a lot of people that I don't actually like. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that person from college, or, oh, and we live in the same town, right?
And this is, oh my goodness, and this is how you get the random high school acquaintance that reaches out to you because they're following friends of friends or stuff like that, and they know who you are, and they're just like, hey, remember me from that one time? And it's like, yeah, what do you want?
She's not a Beachbody coach. She's not in my challenge groups or anything. It's, but I'm actually going to go to her followers and her friends. And I am very simply, hold on. My kids are playing Fortnite in the basement and they've got the Xbox on. And so my internet is really slow because there's 2 Xboxes. So 2 Xboxes are sucking the life, plus my laptop, plus my phone. Everything is slow today. So I'm sorry about that. All right, so let me find her. There she is. Okay. No, that wasn't her. Maybe I'm not going to pick her because she clearly is hard to find. Let's see who else.
How do you not know how to find your friend on Instagram? Unless she has like a weird name. Sometimes like I go to like look up a certain person, I do it by their name, but like they go by like their like random screen name from like middle school for some reason. So maybe it's that.
All right. I'm just going to go to this girl over here. Okay. So now I'm going to click on followers, or I could click on following, people that she's following. And then I'm going to go down through and I'm very simply going to click on people that look like my ideal person. All right. So I'm going to
You're going to go and judge people by their appearance. I don't know if that's what they're saying, but I mean, yeah, you're just looking at them, unless it's like go and read their bio or look at their pictures. Do they have kids? Do they have a dog? Like, is that something you can connect with them about? Like, oh, love your dog. Like, he's so cute. What is his name? How old is he? What breed is he? How many tricks does he know? And then, eventually, hey, I do Beachbody. You want to join me?
And I'm going to say, okay, let me click on this Denise. And Denise, looks normal.
What does that mean? Like not an influencer? Not like what does the other person said normal also. Like what does that mean?
She's got a profile picture, right?
Oh,
she looks like
okay.
she's got some kids.
Okay, not like maybe like a meme account or something, like or a fan page or something like that. Maybe that's what they mean by normal. Unless it's like she has kids and only normal people have kids. I guess I'm not normal then.
And so I'm going to go down through and I am going to right, some of her photos. You want to get people's attention. So you don't want to go down through and like 20 photos, right? Because then you just look like a spammer. But actually look at the photos and say, I really like that.
Yeah, you look like a spammer when you like 20 photos, but sending the same message to 20 people, that's not spamming.
So read the text, all right? And you say to yourself, like, okay, is there anything I could comment on here that would be genuine? And what you can do is they're on the back of that Success Club tracker. You could just very simply write their IG handle down, right? So you could write what their name was. You could write the date that you followed them, And so this is kind of a way that you can kind of keep track of things, if you say I'm going to do 10 a day. And you could actually go back through and kind of go back and follow up with go back and like a couple more of their photos if they consistently post. And then you can, after about a week or so, if they aren't following you back, you can if they're not viewing your stories.
Then you just go and you unfollow them because they mean nothing to you. All these people are just for monetary value, hopefully. It's not for real friendship.
Could unfollow them, if you wanted to do that. Like you could kind of do that follow and follow throughout the week. So it's up to you how you want to do that. All right. So that's kind of step number 1. Do you ignore the people who are posting posts on diet or exercises? If they're a Beachbody coach, if they're have 10,000 followers and they're a brand, no, I'm not going to follow them. I'm not going to engage with them, right? For my challenge groups. No, I'm looking for normal, average people that just are talking about life. It means some people are, but I'm not searching hashtags. I'm not searching exercise. I'm not searching fitness. Like you see, I'm not doing that. I'm going off of my friends' follow.
But what if you want to do that to find other people? What if, again, you don't have very many friends in real life? You know, they just expect people to have so many friends outside of this when a lot of them are joining for that community. And it's just kind of interesting. I guess you could do it with like a sibling or a family member and go based off of their followers. But I don't know. It's this assumption that everybody has friends, and not everybody has friends.
Right now. That's who I'm working on connecting with. All right, friends and family. So that's what I want everybody to spend some time doing. I want you to go through, and in the next 5 to 10 minutes, how many people can you follow? All right, when you're done, tell me how many you followed, and tell me that.
In 5 to 10 minutes, you could follow a lot of people. You honestly could go to like anybody's profile and just go to following or followers and just follow. Just like go on that, and then after a week just go through your followers and see if anybody's following you back, and then unfollow those people if they're not. So there is that. But again, this is, just because you're commenting on their picture, see, it's all for an end goal. Maybe you do genuinely care about that person's lasagna that they posted, but you're hoping that they are interested in you and you can sell them Beachbody. So that is the ultimate goal.
It's hard, go down through, like 3, comment, genuine comment, follow them, write them down. Okay. And if you don't have a very big following right now, this is going to be something you're going to spend some time on. And it says 20 minutes on here, but if you have, if your kids are at school for 8 hours a day and you have 8 hours to build your business, or you have 4 hours to build your business.
Could you imagine spending 8 hours on Instagram, following people? Hey girl, love your photo. Like, move on. Hey girl, love your picture of your dog. For 8 hours. See, I get that your whole business can be worked from your phone, but it's healthy to just put your phone down and like put it away. And in this business, that's not an option, because again, you gotta follow through with all these people daily, and then the messages, and then people responding, and then this, and then that, and then Instagram just becomes your job and not anywhere that you can actually enjoy, which is sad.
You can definitely double this and triple this and 10x this. This can, this is gonna
10x. Didn't you say do it? Oh, yeah.
Help you grow your following.
I thought it didn't matter if you had a big following or not. Isn't that what they say? Or is this how you gain a bigger following? Is just going through and following people, which anybody can do.
So this, is not, again, the most glamorous thing, but it definitely is producing results, right? I do the same thing on my personal Facebook. I will go to, I'll go to my friends. I will go to groups that I'm a part of. How many of you have been added to like LuLaRoe leggings or lip sense groups or other things like that, right? Does anybody have that kind of stuff that they're a part of right now? Go down through all the people in that group, right? And look at those people. If they're not LuLaRoe or Lip Sense, like if they're not other distributors, like you can connect with those people. They might just be other people. Your schools, your colleges, where your kids are at, like look at all of those places. And every single day, your goal is to add people, right? Now, when I say that, everyone from college is private. I'm requesting to, yeah. And so if there are people you that's totally, they'll probably follow you back, which is great, Adam. And then the other thing I do is
but they're probably just following back because they're like, oh, this is a girl I went to college with. And then you get the hey girl.
Down through and I see who is following me back. So I hope that by this point, you're starting to get followers that are following you back, right? So the next thing, I go down through and I will look to see who followed me. All right. So I'm going to go down through here and look for somebody that's a new like follower. And when I find them, I'm going to click on them. right? And here's the thing, everybody gets so upset because they're like, the only people that are following me are people that are trying to sell their stuff. Like, who cares? Just stop getting so concerned about the fact that other people are following you and move on, right? They're not your people. Don't follow them. Just sort of move on, right?
So other people are following them in the hope to sell them something. Isn't that exactly what they are doing? Exactly what they're doing is following people in the hope that you can sell them something? What?
I look at this girl, she followed me. It says coach at Beachbody. Just gonna get right out of there, move on to the next, right?
So she's going to unfollow a fellow coach. So instead of supporting another, I guess, coworker, just, she's not somebody I can sell to, get rid of her.
This person is a Brazilian family, all together. Doesn't speak English. Moving on. All right, so go down here, keep going. So see, I like don't get upset about it. And then if it says like suggested people, I'll click on those people too. And I'll look to see if they're people that I would actually want to follow. All right. And if it's somebody new that is following me, all right, so somebody new, not a coach, I'm going to send her a message and I'm going to say,
I want to know at the end of this hour, how many people like respond to these messages? That would be something in this call I would want to know personally. Like, how many responses did you get? Like reaching out to 50 people in this hour, let's say, and none of them respond. I mean, of course, they're just like, move on, who cares? Just keep doing it. But I would feel like I wasted my time. At least me personally, if I was a coach or I hate using that word, but it's what they like to consider themselves. But like, if I was in an MLM and I did this and I got no responses, it would mentally screw with my mind because I know how I am. I'd be like, well, what is wrong with me? And then the upline or success people just say, well, you're not working hard enough. It's like, oh, so it is my fault.
Message. Let me click on her. Send a message. And I'm going to say, hey, Christina, thanks so much for following my account. How did you find me? You know, what were you searching that brought you to my page? Are you on your fitness journey too? Would love to connect. Done. All right. So now it's a new connection, new person that I'm now friends with. All right. Done.
Is that what they mean by connecting and making friends? Is you send a message to someone, hey, are you on your health journey? And now you're best friends?
There. So that's like sort of your connection points of how you're going to find new people. All right. Yep. If you add me to your leggings group, I'm going to help you look good in them. Perfect. And two, here's another tip. Like at the beginning, before people were coming and finding me because of my content, I was really developing relationships. I would go into leggings pages and buy leggings, and then I would post myself in them. And I didn't do that, but like that's what I would do. You know, if somebody was selling me a scent.
Wait, did she say she did do it or she didn't do it? Hang on.
Go into leggings pages and buy leggings, and then I would post myself in them. And I didn't do that, but like that's what I would do. You know, if somebody was selling me essential oils.
I mean, of course, hold on. Okay, let my brain focus for a second. She said she would do this, but then said she didn't do it, but then said that she did. Okay. And honestly, I mean, it's not surprising that one person MLM would buy stuff from another MLM, supporting that MLM in the hopes that that person also supports their MLM because, like I've said, the reps, consultants, coaches, whatever they want to call themselves, are the main customer. So then it would make sense that other people in MLMs would be the main customer of other MLMs.
Would go in and ask questions like, what are they used for? Okay, I have lavender, or I really struggle with anxiety. Like, everybody struggles with something. Interact in there. Make some friends in those groups, right? Ask some relevant questions. Somebody invited me to a fitness group. It was a girl in Pittsburgh that was doing a bikini competition, and she just had like a group of friends that were kind of keeping each other accountable in this group. It wasn't Beachbody related. Somebody added me because they knew I loved health and fitness. And I just went in there and I started talking. I started posting my accountability. I started sharing like recipes that I really liked. Nothing, and never tried to sell anybody. I'm like, I'm going to make these people my friends.
Yeah, so, but your end result, your end goal is to sell them something. You may be, you may genuinely like these girls, but there's always that thing in the back of her mind is I'm gonna get close with them so they trust me so that they can continuously buy Beachbody products from me.
The other thing that you want to do too, and I know I'm talking about content, is your Instagram stories. So I want to make sure that you guys don't skim this over, because when you turn in your trackers, this is the most inconsistent area along with invitations, right? So people don't do stories. And I'm going to tell you, when I go and look at somebody's Instagram, especially coaches, and they're telling me they're struggling to hit Success Club and they haven't posted anything in the last 24 hours on their stories, you're not really doing your job.
Maybe they're busy. It's this business is all about, I guess as of, it makes sense. Social media is everything. But it's the fact of like, if you didn't post yesterday because something came up, whatever the case may be, and you're like, I'm struggling, and maybe you just mean overall, maybe you just didn't post yesterday, and then they're like, well, you didn't post yesterday, so of course you're not going to get anywhere. And it's like, but I posted all the other days. I just took yesterday off because I needed a break, but I'm still not getting anything. It's like, well, it's because you didn't post yesterday. The logic.
And I love you. I like say this with so much love, but like you can't reach your goals if you aren't out there interacting. And so the last thing is, it does say get people results, contribute to your challenge groups, recognize achievement, respond to questions from customers and coaches. But did you notice I didn't do those first? I don't do those first because customer service is important, but I know growth from month to month is also important too. A lot of times coaches,
the one thing that is actually business related, responding to customers' questions and following up with your coaches, so your team, to me, that is actually a part of the business. But no, reaching out to random people on Instagram is more important than customers and you're essentially your employees underneath you having questions and stuff. That's, not as important as sending hey girls to random people on Instagram. Okay.
Get into management mode where we have 3 people that signed up from January and all we do is answer their messages or in our challenge groups for 2 hours a day. When I only had a handful of customers, I spent maybe 10 minutes in my challenge groups. All right. I didn't spend a ton of time unless I was making live videos. All right. So it should be quick. It shouldn't consume.
The people who have actually purchased from you, who have given you money and you are making commission off of, they are just a quick, not as important as potentially random new people who are more important, and then you just put them to a side once, they're a part of your group.
All of your time. All right. I do think that we let it sort of consume us along the way. All right, friends, it is 10:02, and I really hope that you guys got something out of this. Go ahead and just keep doing your work if you didn't get it all done, and I'll share the recording with you guys, and you can pass it along to anybody on your team, or you can go back and re-listen to this. So we got lots of time left in the month. Go out there, crush it, make it happen, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Beachbody lady. Oh wow, that was something. It's crazy how they're all the same. They sit there and they do these power hours a lot. A lot of them will do it, I think, a couple times a week or maybe like once a week, but it's all the same thing. It's sit there and it's like, well, what kind of message do you send? Because like whatever you're sending, I need to send that same thing because it's clearly worked for you. And it's like, it's working for her because she signed up 10 years ago. She may still honestly do this, do the success tracker and get more people. And actually it may actually work for her because she's so successful. So people want to follow, what she's doing. The chances of anybody signing up today and being as successful as her in a year from now is just not very likely. They like to say that it's totally possible and anyone can be a millionaire and a top person in this business, but just the way that the MLM structure is and the business model, it just isn't meant for people at the bottom. Alright guys, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. Let's talk all things Power Hour Beachbody in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see you guys then. Bye!